to the Prophecy Club. Today we are going to be answering what I think is a really big question in America from the point of view of Bible prophecy, and that is why immigration could destroy America. That's a big question. Why immigration could destroy America. First of all, let me tell you, I'm really excited about having Adam Johnson in. He's going to be speaking January 26, 27, 28. That's Friday, Saturday. Gift of $10 at the door on Friday and Saturday. Free on Sunday morning, 9 to noon. Be sure and come. And if you can't come, be sure and get the King James or 400 Counterfeits DVD set. 3 DVDs available at Prophecy Club. Also, we have a really good gift offer of, I think it's 5 other DVDs, all available for a really good deal. prophecyclub.com. Also, we just put out a new newsletter. In this newsletter, it contains information about the 3 Prophecy Club meetings, of course, along with 8 new DVDs. And I put an article in there on who are the 2 witnesses, and I'll give you a hint, they are not Enoch and Elijah. Also, I explained the Watchman trumpet, 2 dreams from me, and also a personal prophecy given to me and Leslie. I think you'll find the newsletter real interesting. It's free download at prophecyclub.com. Speaking of that, we also, if you're not receiving it, we send out a free e-newsletter every week, and you can get signed up to receive that also. Quit anytime you want to. And of course, I guess I should also mention that we are also looking for monthly partakers to stand with us on a regular monthly basis, as well as you can join the Fast Track team where we pray and fast every Tuesday evening, midnight to 4 p.m. the next day. Okay, to the topic of today, why immigration could destroy America. I guess I should say how, but that's not really where I'm kind of going. Why immigration could destroy America? First of all, the things that we know as prophecy students. Prophecy says that God is going to give Christians and the Jews into the hands of the Antichrist for 3.5 years. And I'm not going to go into all of that. That would get us off topic today. You got to know that. Go look at Revelation 13. God will allow Satan to set up a world government. America is nearing the time when it will reach the fulfillment of is fallen, that's Revelation 18, in wickedness, and will shortly fall by the hand of God, giving us into the hands of our worst enemies, the Russians, just like he has done to the Jews for over 2,000 years. Why do the enemies of Christ push immigration, legal or illegal, by many means to get people from other nations into our land? Why? You're not going to hear it on the 6 o'clock news. You're not going to hear it probably most places on the internet. So why? Why is there such a push for immigration? I'm going to tell you today. I'm going to tell you the real truth. A foreign, unfriendly nation has a flood, earthquake, some national emergency, and the good guys, America, not only arrives with planes and boats full of food and medical supplies, but then picks up the people and brings them back to America on a, quote, temporary basis. A nation has internal fighting. Muslims begin to kill other Muslims, as they have for 4,000 years. America shows up and wants to gather up all of the poor little hurting women and children and also some fighting-age Muslims and bring them back to our wonderful nation. America loves showing our wonderful blessing of this nation to other nations and peoples of the world. The Christians just think, oh, how wonderful we are for helping all of these hurting people of the world. The Democrats just jump up and down and rejoice. They're elated to think that the stupid Christians don't see what they're doing. And the Christians go along with the Democrats passing laws to pay their way here, to give these immigrants food, water, clothes, a free place to live, free medical care, and when they don't want to be Christians, well, that's okay. They don't want to become Americans, that's okay. Obama, you may not know this, actually arranged hundreds of secret night airplane flights, plane loads, full of some of the worst people from around the world, war-torn, Christian-hating areas, to be flown into various, most of them small towns across America. So when the local people in America here wake up the next morning to discover these people from who knows where, most of them Muslim, most of them from war-torn areas, most of them not these nice, kind, little, gentle people, but going to be future terrorists, you see. So they wake up the next morning with these new people in their little small town to discover that the local mayor and the state governors tell them, take care of them. So it's all set up, you see, from the top down. No money from anywhere, federal government or otherwise, is given to these poor little local people for food, clothes, medical, and a lot of them carry all kinds of strange new diseases that we thought were eradicated. Yeah, well, good luck with that. They give them medical attention, education, but it has to come out of the local people's pockets, out of their budgets. They were told to put them in schools when they couldn't speak English. They were told and made to give them free medical care. And the news, well, the news just turned their head. We feed them, clothe them, house them, pay for their education, and try to give them a job. But you see, these are uneducated people. These are tent dwellers. These people don't know how to fit into a modern society. They can't speak English and don't want to learn. They've not been working. Instead, many of them, all of their life, has their necklace is an AK-47. Okay, they've been walking around with an AK-47 around their neck. All they have known is jihad or war, killing people all of their life. That's what they do. That's all they do. They don't want a job. Not all of them, of course, are like this. But it only takes about 1 in a million to begin to crash a society. And America is letting millions and millions and millions of them in, and has been for some 30, some people say 40 years. Well, what happened? How's this going on? Why isn't this being stopped, you say? Well, all the watchmen are gone. The people like myself, for example, had stopped going to church. In other words, people like me that, now I'm a Christian, but see, a lot of people that their parents were Christians, their parents before them were Christians, but their children, they don't want to be Christians. And so people in my age begin to stop going to church. Now the millennials, they don't even know what the Bible is and don't know what church is, don't know where one is. They've heard lots of bad things about the church, don't want to have anything to do with it. So the watchmen are gone. The people had stopped going to church a generation ago, so there was no church or local pastor with any clout or any finances to stand up to fight against this, to stop this. All the Christian watchmen on radio that were there in the 80s and 90s, well, now they're gone. Now, you see, they only played wonderful, entertaining music for the Christians. The local radio stations that used to have watchmen on them in the 80s and 90s were closed or sold to larger networks that took many of them secular, and the ones remaining Christians now no longer had real people on the radio, but they only played entertaining music from some central office downloaded from satellite. It's just a stick out in the weeds, you see. No one to complain. No one to stop the wrong. The people had turned from righteousness in Christ. They turned from the King James Bible to more easily understood versions. The problem is now they don't even read the easy ones. They don't go to the easy churches. They just simply don't go. The local people just can't understand why their country is falling apart. The Muslims have moved in from these other countries. Now they first began to take and fix up these old abandoned church buildings. They used to be churches, but now they fix them up and they make them into mosques. But then before long, they're actually building big, beautiful mosques with gold top roofs. Why, they make all of the churches in the area look poverty-stricken. They blast out their call of prayer 5 times a day. Sounds like but the people get out of bed. Look, I've been there. I've been to a Muslim country. I've heard it. 5 o'clock in the morning, wake me up. But the Muslims, they're faithful. They crawl out of bed. They go down and they gather in a place of prayer. They lay down their little prayer rug. Oh, but a Christian wouldn't get up to pray. Christian wouldn't get up to read the Bible, and they certainly wouldn't memorize it. They gather, lay down their prayer rug. They get on their knees, not once a day, not twice a day, 5 times a day. They have to get on their knees, and they have to have their forehead touch the ground as they pray. Oh, well, a Christian wouldn't do that. Yeah, and that's one of the reasons the churches are just about gone. They do this 5 times a day, 7 days a week, and people don't know how to stop it. The grocery stores now carry halal cuisine, and it is difficult to find a restaurant in the area that doesn't serve Muslim-approved food. The women of the area are afraid to walk down the streets in sleeveless shirts or shorts for being pinched on their private areas. Yeah, I've been there, okay? I was in, let's say it was Istanbul. The women were afraid to leave their hotel. Us men had to encircle them to keep the local men from pinching them. Yes, in those areas. Oh, yeah, no, we're not talking about a friendly little pinch. We're not talking about a pinch to be painful. We're talking about open assault, sexual assault. And if you don't cover yourself up so they see nothing but eyes, they feel like rape is okay. The local police, well, they say they can't do anything about it because they're not really breaking the law. They're just pinching you, ladies. So if you don't want to go to church, you don't want to be a Christian in America, let me just say, get used to it. Either choose Jesus or the 400 counterfeits out there. Choose King James or the 400 counterfeits, which, by the way, let me just say, I think you really need to set aside what you're doing on the 27th, 28th, and 29th of this month. You really need to come and hear this. Excuse me, the dates are 26, 27, 28, January 26, 27, 28. Yeah, I know. Maybe you're already reading King James. You may say, well, I'm already convinced King James is right. Yeah, but can you convince someone else? My guess is you probably know enough just to convince yourself, but if someone challenged you on it, you would wilt. You would melt. You would just crumble because you don't know enough to defend your faith. Brothers and sisters, get into this meeting. Back to our question. How immigration, be it legal or illegal, is killing America? Well, we have a visa lottery program here. Here's how it got started. For years, America allowed immigrants to apply, and they were vetted, and it was a laborious and expensive process to be allowed into America. We'll be right back after this message. I memorized the book of Revelation, and in the process, God gave me 12 awesome revelations. Jesus is not the primary message of Revelation. What is? My biggest revelation, what is the morning star? Who are the 2 witnesses? The final answer to the rapture question. Definitive proof that America is in Revelation. And what is America's future? 7 signs to spot the Antichrist early. When does the New Jerusalem arrive? Are there 1 or 2 judgments? The surprising final plague on earth. It's a double DVD for a gift of $50 or more. Order at prophecyclub.com or 785-266-1112. Revelations on Revelation, gift of $50, prophecyclub.com or 785-266-1112. And now, back to the program. Immigration, be it legal or illegal, is killing America. Well, we have a visa lottery program here. Here's how it got started. For years, America allowed immigrants to apply, and they were vetted, and it was a laborious and expensive process to be allowed into America. America was not an easy place to come to, and it chose those who were persecuted that it allowed to be in. America was not a come one, come all visa system. It was a place for Christians, while they didn't openly say it that way, but it was a place for persecuted Christians to come. It was a nation where God arranged the Christians to come in general, but it was not publicly announced that way. The Diversity Visa Lottery Program started in the 1980s. It was started to benefit Irish immigrants. But as you've heard, when the camel gets his nose in the tent, the body follows. And in the 1990s, Congress changed the program. so that anyone from any country that doesn't already send many immigrants to America could just simply apply. In 1995, a person had to apply to enter the U.S. through the lottery. Now, in those days, there was a long list of documents and certifications which had to be provided: birth certificates, entire academic history, government reference letters, family marriage records, financial statements, multiple English test results and certificates from the police and the applicants. They couldn't have a criminal record. The people themselves were also questioned in the originating country by an American embassy official in their home. Before being accepted, they asked them questions like, do you believe in democracy or do you believe in communism? Their parents were vetted. They were entered into a computer lottery. But now, once again, the camel got its nose in the tent. Now the whole body's in. Listen to this. Now, 50,000 visas are given away each year through an internet site. It's used to, in my opinion, I believe it's just another way to have evil come into our nation a little bit easier. It's used to be that if an accepted immigrant had a brother or sister they wanted to sponsor for a green card, that brother or sister many times had to wait over 20 years. But today, no problem. It's called chain migration. Come on in. It's a disaster for our country, Trump said. The program grants visas not only on the basis of merit, but simply because the applicants are randomly selected in an annual lottery. And the people put in that lottery are not the country's finest, he says. In 2016, nearly half of the visas were not Christians from a high population Christian country. Instead, the visas were many times and mostly immigrants from high Muslim content countries. The highest percentage of terrorists are Muslims. In 2016, the highest ranking individuals from African countries came from the nations of Nepal, Egypt, Iran. Okay, those Christian countries, you find a lot of Christians there. Do we see wonderful blessings? Do we see churches going up in those nations? Uzbekistan, the home of the New York terrorism suspect. So why do the enemies of Christ push immigration? Whether it's legal or illegal, why do they push it so hard? The lower people in the Illuminati, such as the leaders of our nation, are told the policies to push by authorities above them. Now, I don't have time to go into all the proving of this. I'm just going to make some quick statements here. They're coached on specific words to use and to avoid. If you notice, for example, the Democrats, they call us very offensive words. They are offensive. You know, I love my brothers and sisters, whether they're red, yellow, black, or white. They're all precious in his sight. I love them all. But a Democrat would call me a racist. I don't like that. I don't like being called racist. But they have, and they don't even blink. It doesn't bother them at all to call someone racist. But as a Christian, it would bother me to call them a heathen. It would bother me to call them a sinner. You know, we don't call people names like that. But to them, it doesn't bother them at all to be offensive. And I could make a whole program if I just sat and think and write examples. But I'm not going to. That's not the point of today. I believe they are coached on specific words to use and not use, tactics to use and tactics to avoid. For example, you notice that the news almost never refers to a Christian by the name Christian. You know why? My opinion is because the word Christian had the word Christ in it. And they don't say the name Jesus. They don't say the name Christ. They don't say anything Christian. And so they call us, did you get the name? Evangelicals. Oh, I can't wait until one of these days I'm on one of those news programs and someone calls me an evangelical. Oh, I'm going to say I'm not an evangelical. I win people to Christ. I serve the Lord Jesus. I'm not an evangelical. I'm a Christian. I'm a Christ one. I've accepted Christ as my Lord and Savior, and I follow His laws and His statutes. I am a Christian. Please refer to me as a Christian. Do not offend me by calling me an evangelical. Do not. I am a Christ one. They won't like it, but then I won't win any popularity contest. So I believe they're told to use and to not use certain tactics because the lower people don't really know the end game, which we're about to talk about. The real end game here is the destruction of America, a Christian nation. Why? So they can have a new world order. Why? Well, the purpose of the new world order is to set the Antichrist upon the Ark of the Covenant. Why? So he can commit the abomination of desolation, so that he can overcome the Christians. And the Revelation 13 says, and all that dwell upon the earth shall worship him, whose names are not written in the Lamb's book of life from the foundation of the world. That's a lot. That's a big statement. And it was given to him to make war with the saints. I believe that war is, yes, a military war too, but I believe it's also a war of words. Look at the pyramid. The pyramid on the back of the $1 bill has 13 levels to it. Go ahead and open it, count them out. Bill Sneblin and other Illuminati defectors have told us these 13 levels are actually representing the hierarchy of the Illuminati. Only the top levels are told the truth and their true objectives. On the front of the book, called Morals and Dogma, which is the Bible of the Illuminati, you see carved in, at least my copy, says Ordo ab Chaos, which is Latin, meaning order out of chaos. What order? A new world order. Out of what chaos? A chaos they create. Their objective is to bring this world that is currently based upon Christ, based upon the Bible, into chaos. And through chaos, they want to bring in a new world order. Through a new world order, they will bring in the Christ. Probably even the lowest levels within the top 13 levels are not even told the truth, nor their true objectives. On page 321 of Morals and Dogma, it tells the ultimate secret of the Illuminati. Let me say it again. Page 321 of Morals and Dogma, at least my copy, tells the ultimate secret of the Illuminati, the thing they don't want you to know more than anything else, and only the top levels are ever told this. Here's what it says. Lucifer is the light. Doubt it not. What does that mean? It means that the light that the Masons seek after, the light that the whole world seeks after, it's not Jesus, it's the anti-Jesus. Now, anti doesn't mean against, it means in the place of. In other words, Lucifer doesn't want to go against Christ. He already knows he's going to lose. He wants to be Christ. He wants more than anything in the world. His objective is to set on that Ark of the Covenant, stop animal sacrifice, and say, I am God. And then, of course, the image of the beast sets up there and says, everybody got to worship him. He is Christ. He is God. He is God in the flesh. He wants to say, I am the Messiah. I am the Christ. See, it says Lucifer is the light. Doubt it not. Chuck and Nancy probably don't even know why they're told to push immigration. But the real objective of immigration, legal and illegal, is to flood America with non-Christians to fundamentally, that means from the very basic raw roots, okay, the grassroots level up, to fundamentally change America from being a Christian-based nation to chaos. Ordo ab chaos. They want to create a new order, a new world order. Out of a chaos they create. If you got a $1 bill, pull it out. Let me show you a couple of things. All right. So on the left side of the back, we see the pyramid has 13 levels. At the bottom of it, it has some Roman numerals, and those Roman numerals says 1776. Now, that does not mean anything or have anything to do with signing of our independence, because May 1 of 1776 was when the Illuminati was formed. This is not about our nation. This is about the goal of the international bankers. The world government is their objective. Then along the top it says annuit coeptus. That means announcing the conception. Along the bottom, it says Novus Ordo Seclorum. Now, if you look that up on the internet, it's probably going to tell you the new order of the ages. That's wrong. The correct, and I've looked it up, the correct interpretation of those words are a new order secular. But that's a lie. See, Lucifer doesn't want to remove God from the world. He wants to be the God of the world. When it says announcing the conception of the new order secular, he wants to first remove the Bible as the foundation. Then they will have a brief time when there is no God. He's going to show everybody that there's total chaos. We've talked about this before. But ultimately, he wants to bring in a new order with him at the top of it. Then at the top of that pyramid, you see an all-seeing eye. If you look closely, that's the left eye, not the right eye. That's the left eye, symbolizing, since Jesus sits at the right hand of the Father, that is saying this is evil. This is representing Lucifer on top of the pyramid. And if you look at the real Ark of the Covenant, you see there is a triangle. And at the center of that triangle originally was the glory of God, the I Am, the enfolding fire, the self-existent one. And that dwelled between the cherubims, which are the two angels that are on either side, either end of the Ark of the Covenant, facing each other. There's a lot more, but we've run out of time. But if you'll get our DVDs, we have all kinds of DVDs like this at prophecyclub.com that can teach you all about the Illuminati. Thank you for listening. Thank you for your prayers. And when it comes time to your giving, will you consider Prophecy Club? God bless.
Friends, the devil is walking about seeking whom he may devour. There is a battle for souls, and whomsoever much is given, of him shall much be required. If God has blessed you, and if this ministry has been a blessing to you, prayerfully consider joining the fight for souls by giving your financial support. We thank you and appreciate your faithfulness.
Now from the Prophecy Club, some exciting opportunities for you. The next speaker at the Prophecy Club is Adam Johnson, president of the Harvest Bible Institute and Theological Seminary, has done over 150 conferences and debates defending the King James Version. He's going to be speaking January 26, 27, and 28. That's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at the Prophecy Club. Friday, Saturday, doors open at 6, speaking from 7 to 10:30, gift of $10 at the door. No charge Sunday morning, doors open at 8:30, speaking from 9 to noon. It'll be 3 DVDs, gift of $45. Title is King James or 400 Counterfeits. Topics are Why King James, Inspiration Preservation, Biblical Comparisons, Arguments Against King James, Manuscript History, Numbers, We Found the Truth, King James in Our Modern Language. 3 DVDs, gift of $45. Prophecy Club Corner, Park and K, 2540 K Avenue in Plano. Doors at 6, speaking from 7 to 10:30. See you there! So, we get our taxes cut, and maybe Trump even fixes our health care. Well, you don't have to be a Bible prophecy expert to know we're still headed for troublous times, and gold and silver is still one of the best ways to preserve your assets for the coming trouble. The question is, what's best for my situation? Gold or silver? Bars or coins? Spot collectible or junk coins? Call my friends at Redwood Gold Group and ask for a free gold kit to get updated, because not all gold is equal. And ask for a free IRA kit, which will help you to make your decision to place gold in your IRA or not. And with a minimum order, you can get a free safe, which allows you to store your gold at home and still keep it in your IRA. Call 800-696-6414. 800-696-6414. It helps Prophecy Club. That's 800-696-6414, and mention Prophecy Club when you call. RedwoodGold.com. RedwoodGold.com.